Hello and welcome to Code for Geek. And in today's session, I'm going to combine three essential topics for Python. The number one is going to be installing Python, second is setting up an IDE, and the third is understanding the basics, which is keywords and identifiers. So by the end of the video, you will have a fully functional Python setup and a solid grasp of two fundamental concepts. So let's jump right in. First things first, if you're on a Mac setup, you simply need to install Brew by copying this command, pasting it in your terminal, and following through with the setup. I already have Brew installed, so I'm going to skip this part. But once you're done completing the setup, you can proceed to installing Python. I'll just turn this off, and all you have to do is Brew install Python at 3.13 and wait for this to complete. While we have this installation going on in the background, if you have a Linux or a Windows PC, you just have to go to python.org, go to the downloads menu, and click on, of course, if you're on the operating system, the site will automatically detect it, and you can just click on the download button here. But if not, just click on view the full list of downloads, and you should be able to download it for Windows, Linux, macOS, and other operating systems. Just get the latest downloader and downloader or installer, and you should be good to go here. Alright, so we have Python 3 installed on our system, and we can confirm that by typing in python 3 -- version, and as you can see, we just installed Python 3.13, and we have it right here. Now the next thing we want to do is install the IDE. In this case, I will be installing VS Code, so you can just go to, type in Microsoft VS Code on Google, and it'll show you the downloads page. Just download the version for your operating system and you should be good to go again. I already have VS Code installed, so I'm going to skip this part. Now let's actually play around with Python. First things, what you can do is you can enter the Python interpreter by just typing in Python 3, and here you go. Type in print hello world and hit enter. As you can see, it prints the hello world command, hello world text. If you see that, you're all set. Pretty much you have Python installed, you have the interpreter running, and it's able to run the code. Let's go ahead and understand more about keywords now. Now, there are some words that are reserved by Python for specific tasks. You can't use them for variable names, function names, or pretty much anything else in Python. For example, some keywords like if, else, while, and for are keywords that are used for flow control. The def keyword, which is short for define, is used to define functions. The Boolean operations or Boolean results, true, false, and none, are used to represent Boolean values and null. So these are the keywords that you cannot use for naming variables or functions or anything else. Let me show you all the list of the keywords. Just import keyword, and that will import the keyword library, and then you can print keyword.kw list, which is keyword list, and you can see all of the keywords that we are absolutely not able to use. And you will get used to this in a while once you start using Python a bit, but in the meanwhile, this short list and kind of just using this list is an easy way to avoid accidentally using them for some other variable namings. Now the next thing is going to be identifiers. Now the identifiers are basically just names that we assign to variables, functions, classes, and other objects. These are the names that are not from the keyword list that we did here. Now there are a couple of rules for naming variables and stuff. The first letter of any variable must always start with a letter. It can be an uppercase or lowercase letter, but it cannot be anything else. It has to be a letter or an underscore. Now, if I try to say two-factor authentication equals 1, 2, 3, 4, it will say that it's an invalid decimal literal. If I just say 2FA, 4, then it works. So you see what I mean. You can also use 2FA equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and it works. So most of the time you would use the underscore to denote variables that are not supposed to be accessed outside of a class, but we will talk about that later. And that is pretty much it about variables and naming conventions. By now, you should have understood how to install Python using Brew on Mac or downloading the package on Windows and Linux. and you probably have the VS Code installed on your system, and you understand what keywords are, how to get a list of the keywords, and what are the naming conventions for identifiers, including variables, functions, and classes. I would love to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching and happy coding. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more Python tutorials. See you in the next video.